guys, my name is Vera and this is little tips and tricks video on how to paint fir trees. We paint fir trees a lot, so I thought I'll make a video for you guys to show you how to paint fir trees and a few different ways you could do this. I will be using this wonderful medium square brush. You see it's really flat. Here's a closer look, but you could use whichever brush you would like. It doesn't have to be this particular brush. And in fact, I would ask you to maybe try this with a couple different brushes and see which one you like more. And I will be using black paint and this wonderful paper plate as my canvas, as my painting surface. So when I do fir trees, I prefer to start with the tree trunk always. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Let's say this is our ground. What I usually do, I put tree trunk using the top edge of my medium brush, always from the ground up, never the other way around. And the reason is wherever you start is going to be the thickest point of your tree trunk. So we want to start on a bottom so that the thickest point is on a bottom, because that's how trees grow. They're always thicker on a bottom and thinner on top. So do you see I have my wonderful tree trunk. You could definitely do this with any other brush. It doesn't have to be top edge of a medium brush. That just what works for me. That's what I personally like. Now option number one, we're going to make it fairly complicated, and then we're going to make it easier, easier, and easier. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be dabbing with the top edge of my brush, and I will start with small dabs, and then as I go lower they will get bigger, 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 and bigger. So let me show you. Do you see I'm using just the corner of my brush for the very top because those dabs need to be really, really small, and then I'm going to continue dabbing, going down. And you see all the dabbed branches go slightly on angles. It's a little bit on the left, a little bit on the right, a little bit on the left, and so on. And I'm going to be continuing going down. What the goal is here, to have it not super solid. You see there's a bit of air in between, and to maintain this triangular shape you want to have a really nice pointy end, and you want it to get wider and wider and wider as you go down, and we're going to bring it all the way to the bottom. Here you go. Option number one. That is definitely one way to do this, and I'm going to dab a bit more right closer to the trunk, right on a tree trunk, just to make it a bit more solid right in the middle so you don't see the tree trunk anymore. That is option number one. Okay, let's move on to option number two. For the option number two, I'm going to grab a different plate. Option number two is slightly easier. It's not crazy easy, but it's a little easier. And for those who don't like dabs, you might like option number two more because it doesn't involve any dabs. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna put a tree trunk once again. Let's say this is our ground. This is our tree trunk. Now instead of dabs, we're gonna use brush strokes. We're gonna maintain the same shape. It's very important that our top is nice and pointy, and as we go lower it gets wider and wider and wider, and all our branches are going to be slightly on an angle. But now instead of dabs, we're going to put brush strokes. So we're going to start from the very top, and again, as you can see, I'm using just the corner of my brush to make a really fine brush strokes, and then as we go down they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Ta-da! This is your option number two. Definitely a little easier than option number one, but still wonderful look. Looks totally different, but great. And now I'm going to show you option number three. That is still looking really good, but the easiest option. Grab another plate. And again, let's say this is our ground. This is our tree trunk. Option number 3, the easiest option, we're just going to do horizontal brush strokes. Again, we want to maintain this triangular shape, and we want to have the pointy top and a wider bottom, and you're always going to start from the top, the same as other two techniques. But now we're just going to do horizontal brush strokes. That's all it is. Ta-da! Our option number 3. So here are 3 options for you guys on how to paint those trees. You can choose whichever you want, and definitely practice all 3 of them and see which one you like most and which one feels the most comfortable for you. I hope you found this video very helpful, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.